you everybody who is watching this fantastic video. My name is Olenjolai Mokotayelo Single. Simply just call me Sir Olenjolai. Come from beautiful countries that called Tanzania. I'm very happy to have you today, and I've prepared good news which actually is going to excite you. And I would like just first of all to welcome you into one of our online schools that's called Tanzania Online Ordinary Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai. And simultaneously, I would like to welcome you into the YouTube, one of our YouTube channels that's called Tanzania Online O-Level Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai. We have so many departments. This is a kind of the unique institution, unique online schools that we are training, and we are teaching, incubating, encouraging, leading, and teaching our students to think differently in the focus of how we can solve the real life problems by using the knowledge we acquire in daily life, and also the knowledge we acquire formally or informally in the classrooms concerning about ordinary education level. So we will be focusing on how we can solve small-scale real-life problems, and we have to teach you and challenge every student to think beyond the class. So possibly you who is watching right now, maybe you are a student in Form 1 or Form 2 or Form 3 or Form 4. And then you've been wandering around, you found that basic mathematics is a difficult subject for you. You have been trying your level best to understand the teachers in the class. You've been going to the tuition after the classes or during the vacation. You've been reading different books, going through different question paper, just doing different efforts, consulting your elder brothers who are in Form 4, Form 3, or Form 2, or Form 1, Form 2. And just you consult them and ask them questions and ask their help with them. So possibly you have given up that basic mathematics is not my best friend, is not my favorite subject. Or maybe physics is not my favorite subject, or chemistry my favorite subject. I want to tell you that wait before you do that decision. You have tried several methods, possibly they didn't work. Yeah, I would like to ask you that to try learning through learning basic mathematics, physics, and chemistry for ordinary education for 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4 that are in Tanzania Online Ordinary Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai. I believe that we are going to transform, or our training is going to transform your mindset from giving up into the champion in basic mathematics, physics, and chemistry. Whether you're Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, or if you're a parent or guardians, you're being stressed out that your students or your children are not doing well in basic mathematics, in physics, and chemistry. So then, because they have been using different methods, possibly they didn't work. They used to work for other students. That means that every student has to work, but those who are selected and educated by God to use this system, I believe that this method, you can encourage your students right now and be serious and make them to be serious on learning the contents we are providing in Tanzania Online Ordinary Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai. It has so many departments, more than 3 departments. One of the departments is called Basic Mathematics. Again, whenever you go any physical schools, we don't have any physical ordinary secondary school. We have just online. And that's why that we are delivering our content right now in one of our YouTube channels that called Tanzania Online O-Level Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai. But remember that our primary focus in these contents, we are using the syllabus of United Republic of Tanzania. For instance, for basic mathematics, we are using basic mathematics syllabus for ordinary secondary education for 1 to Form 4 that prepared by Tanzania Institute of Education. But mathematics is universal. Whether you are watching this program from Kenya, from North America, from South America, from United States of America, from United Kingdoms, from Singapore, from Asia, from China, wherever the world, or from Australia or from Nigeria, you can benefit in these contents, because what we are providing is actually we are thinking beyond the boundaries of Tanzania. However, that these contents will be specifically helping and focusing to the national students or to the Tanzania ordinary secondary students, ordinary secondary school students. Well, so that is one thing. Another thing is, whenever you join any physical institutions or any physical school, then the first thing you are going to encounter is the terms we call the registration. How can you register in these online schools? Number one, you should have what is sign in. Okay, sign in what? Sign in YouTube. Okay, sign in YouTube by using what? By using email, by using either Yahoo, or by using Gmail, Yahoo or Gmail. And then the next step, just within a minute, you just do registration, and this is a permanent, is one-time registration for the rest of your life. Just you see the buttons on right-hand side at this point, below this video that you can subscribe. And then when you see that buttons, just click. When you click, the word change into subscribed, and the background, the red backgrounds change into gray. Why should you subscribe? That's a very important question. Once you subscribe, you'll get frequently notification from the YouTube community once we upload or we add any new video into Tanzania Online Ordinary Secondary School in Square Bracket Olenjolai. So you just have to subscribe once. If you subscribe in 2022, then you don't need to subscribe once again. It is done. Just to subscribe once. The issue is just to share these contents with other students. So that's very important for every student because we don't want you to miss. So if that's the case, I will give you some other announcement later on. Right now, let me go quickly into what I've prepared and what God has put in my heart just to take you from one point to another point. We are in departments of basic mathematics. Here we are teaching 4 subjects: basic mathematics form 1, basic mathematics form 2, basic mathematics form 3, and basic mathematics form 4. So the subject today is basic mathematics, and this is chapter 1. It's called relation, the first chapter. In form 3, we have 8 chapters. The first one is called the relations, and the 8th one is called the accountants. Okay, if you want to know in details, just go back into previous session. Then this is session 5, graphing of inequality relation. However, that we have to finish, we have to solve one question of graphing of the previous sessions of graphing relation. These contents are relevant for pre-form 3, for the form 3 students, or we call it in some countries class 11 and class 11 and class 12, not class 14, excuse me, class 12. So let us go into the business right now, and let me start quickly into the quick review. Quick review, actually we have to review. Remember that I used to teach in 2 languages only for the physics form 1, physics form 2. Physics form 1, chemistry form 1, and basic mathematics form 1. From there, I used the English language because that is what the Ministry of Education, Science, and Vocational Training instructed me to teach. We have to teach you how you can learn by using the international language that called English. It doesn't mean that I don't know Swahili, I know, but I want to equip you, at least you should know. This is my advice. I lived in Tanzania, and I lived also in other countries in Africa away from Tanzania. But I noticed it to know one international language is very important if you want to go beyond the boundaries of Tanzania. And you should not limit yourself. Quick review of session. So welcome to the solutions of your problem in basic mathematics and basic mathematics, physics, and chemistry for the O level. So quick review of session 4. In session 4, we have been focusing on different issues, but it has been titled graphing of relation. So the question there, what if you be given a certain relation that we taught you that you be given a certain relation that x, y, this is a set of ordered pair, and hence you find that you'll be given what? So you find that when you be given that, I'll give you some other announcement. Don't worry about that. So we given some relations x, y, then we have a special symbol. But for example, we have what? So we have this colon symbol. Maybe y is equal to 2x. It's a linear equation like this one. And then I've been asked you to sketch. So if you remember that, the steps I taught you, the first step, first of all, you have to tabulate your team. So you have to say that you have to choose what? Choose the positive, called the positive integer and negative integer. Okay? Choose some. So choose some positive. So we call it some negative, and some negative. This one negative, and the positive integers, right? Positive integers, to tabulate, okay, to draw the table of value. Draw the table of value. Afterward, you use those means that we say you sketch what? You sketch the XY plane and locate what? And locate the points. That's how you do it. So I left the homework. And that homework, it was example 13. Example 13. So before we go into session 5 of exam, let me do example 13, we ended in example 13. Let me do just to strengthen your concept, your understanding in graph before we go for the graphics of inequality. But let me, ladies and gentlemen, present to you example 14. This example 14 for secondary basic mathematics. Mathematics for secondary basic mathematics 3. Question exercise what? Exercise 1.2. Question 1. So 8. But for me, I'm going to just question 1 and 3. Okay. So the question starts with in question 1 to question 8, draw the graphs. Draw the graphs of the relation. Draw the graphs of the relation and then find the domain and range. Find the domain and range. So this one, the range is equal to what? X comma y to x minus y is equal to 10. That is question 1. Then question 3, we will be given relation. Here we have x comma y. We say y is equal to x squared. So you have to sketch the graphs of and determines the domains and range. However, that we didn't teach you yet in detail about domain and range according to the arrangement, because here we are focusing the second subtopic. The third subtopic we are going to teach about domain and range. The fourth subtopic we are going to end up this chapter of relation when we'll be teaching about inverse of relation. So ladies and gentlemen, let us solve these problems. So in question 1 to 8, I just choose. So there are 8 questions. You have to make sure that you should have your in your hands when you are learning this session. Should have your secondary basic mathematics book 3. In case you don't have it, go to the descriptions of the video. You will see the link, and then you will see that we are shipping. We are equipping our students with this book. Okay, so you can order it online, and then we can ship it to you with a very reasonable cost, because we want to equip this the weapon number 2 that we recommend, and even some questions will just direct you to do in this book, and we won't write on the blackboard. So if you're students, ask your parents to buy this book for you. It will help you and it will transform you in your life of basic mathematics from 3. So solution. So be given a relation. This is a linear function. or linear equation, and this is the quadratic equation. Don't worry, I'm going to solve both of them for you to be strong enough in this concept. So this is, I didn't start yet about the graphing of the inequality. So this is graphing of relation. So we are graphing relation. So solution. So we given the relations of that one. So we say that, okay, fine. So this is for all the, so we follow, I would say the first state, okay, the first state that we have to follow when we are solving this. So we say that we use equation 2x minus y, 2x minus y is equal to 10 to tabulate, or to tabulate few values of x and y. Okay, few values of x and y. So you have this table. Okay, so you just choose. So here we're going to have x coordinates and y coordinates. So you can choose. The standard choice is we choose the values of x from what? So choose the values of x from -3 less than or equal to x, x is less than or equal to +3. So that's the standard one. So this is -3, -2, -1, 0. Then you have 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3. So we are solving for question number 1. So for the question number 1, we'll be given the relation of x comma y. This is twice x minus y is equal to what? Is equal to 10. Okay? So our equation is twice x minus y is equal to 10. So you have to take values of x, we have to make y the subject. So to make y the subject, we bring y on this side. You have 2x minus 10 is equal to y. So simply y is equal to 2x minus what? Minus 10. So we start. We substitute the value of -3 into x. -3 times 2, it is -6. -6 minus 10 is -16. -16. So -3 times 2, -60. Yes, -16. So -2 times 2 is -4. This will make -14. Then we have what? Did I complete correctly? Yeah. Okay. Then -1, substitute -1 is equal to -12. Then we substitute 0, we get -10. Then we have 1, we get -9. No, we have 1. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 minus 10 is -8. Then -6. If you substitute 2, you get 4. 4 minus 10 is -6. If you substitute 3, you get 6. 6 minus 10, you get -4. So that's the table of values. So you have to sketch your thing. You have to sketch the second step. Second step, you have to sketch the graph of what? The graph of y is equal to 2x minus 10. So how are we going to sketch it? Well, so we have our values, our coordinates. So the graph relies on noting on the negative values. Negative values. So this is our y-axis. Y-axis, and then we have our what? Our x-axis. This is our x-axis. This is 0. So you may use your ruler just to have 1, 2, 3. Here you have 1, -1, -2, -3. Then in y-axis we have numbers which are even but negative. So we will start with what? So you must start with that this one is 2, this one is 4, and here we have -2, -4, -6, -8, -10, -12, then -14, -16, and finally negative what? 18. So this is 4, just leave them in interval 2. This is 2, this is -2, this is -4, okay? Then this is -6, this is -8, this is -10, this is -12, this is -14, this is -16, and this is -18. Here we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have -1, we have -2, we have -3. So it comes into the table of values. When x is equal to -3, y is equal to -16. So x is -3, y is equal to -16, possibly somewhere here. When x is equal to -2, y is equal to what? Y is equal to -14. So here's the point. When x is equal to -1, y is equal to -12. Here's the point. When x is equal to 0, y is equal to -10. So the y-intercept is -10. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to +8. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to what? Is equal to -6. When x is equal to +3, y is equal to negative what? Y is equal to -4. So next, if you use a good scale, you'll find that all of these points are lying on the same straight line. So this is the line. So this is actual wrong location, this is the right location, and this is the straight line. So remember that these are the points. This also is the wrong location. So these are the points. And remember that this is the equation of y is equal to 2x minus 10. So that's the graph. So this we call this is figure 5.1. So that's the graph of the relation. So this is the graph of the relation what? Relation x over y, 2x minus y is equal to 10. Or y is equal to 2x minus what? Minus 10. So then we can go for the solutions of question number 3. Okay? So question number 3. So question number 3. So our relation we have just to change. So the same just solution. Okay? We are going to use the same interval. So we have just to we are going to use the values of y are going to change. Anyway, let me just restart, but let me leave the question there so you'll see the interval. So the first step, we use the equation. So right now, we are going to use the equation of 14. y is equal to x squared. So that's the solution for it. This is question 3. That was the solution for question 1. Okay? So the first step, so we say that we are going to choose the interval, the domain, and then the question asks us to state your thing. The question asks us to state, then find the domain and range. Domain, I will teach you domain in the next session. That will be session what? Possibly be session 7 or session 8. But simply, when I will teach you, you understand what does it mean. Domain here is all real numbers. It means all real numbers. Domain is the value of what? Of x. So all values of x are satisfying the question y is equal to 2x minus 10. So that's the domain. But again, range, say range. So range for this case is all real numbers. All real numbers. So the range, all the values of y are satisfied. That's why this line continues to infinity, to positive infinity of y, and these lines continue to negative infinity of y. Okay. So the second step, we say that we choose the interval of -3 less than or equal to x. That would be our domain. So domain. So you can also choose a domain of -2 to 3, but let us just use this one. So domain for this case is -3. So let us say -3 less than x. This just you choose yourself. So then the table of values for this case will be this. Okay, so this is x, this is y. So we have our different values. So this is -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So our equation is y is equal to x squared. So if you substitute -3 in x squared, you get 9. Substitute -2, you get 4. Substitute -1, you get 1. Substitute 0, 0 squared. Then if you substitute 1, you get 1. Then you get 4. Then you get what? 9. Okay? So those are the values of what? Of y. And you have made already what x the subject. Okay? So after having that table value, we go for the second step. The second step, we sketch the relation. Sketch the relation R is equal to x comma y. Then we have y squared is equal to x squared. So we have to draw our sketch. It's very interesting graph. That should be figure 5.2. And okay, this is not, we don't have any quick review anymore, but we're just reviewing the previous session. We are strengthening you because we just taught you one example. So one example is not important for the form series students. We like to transform your mind and we like to equip you in such a way that basic mathematics in Form 3 become your favorite subject. So ladies and gentlemen, right now I'm going to sketch the relation R is equal to x comma y, x comma y, then y is equal to x squared. So today we find that according to this table, so check the table of results. The values of y are only positive. So if you're only positive, you can even ignore the negative y-axis, because for that graph, you will never have any negative values. Okay? So this is y-axis, and this is x-axis. Okay? So this is 0 origin. So you can have your values. So here we have what? So because we have only 3 integers, we have 6 integers, 3 integers on the positive just for demonstration, but you can go beyond that. 16, and here we have 7. So this is 1, 2, 3. Then this is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So then, here we go. So if you have this, you have this, you have this, you have this point, then you have this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then do you have any? 6. Trying to think, how can I represent that? I think the best way is from what? From 60, 75. This is 1, 2, and 65. 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wonderful. 9, and then 10. On negative x-axis, we have negative 1, negative 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Negative 1, negative 2. Okay. So if this is the case, we say, okay, that's wonderful. So we come back into our table value. When x is equal to negative 3, y is equal to 9. When x is equal to negative 3, y is equal to 9. So y is equal to 9. Then when x is equal to negative 2, y is equal to 4. So when x is equal to negative 2, the value of y is equal to 4. So here it is. When x is equal to negative 1, the value of y is equal to 1. The value of y is equal to 1. When x is equal to 0, the value of y is equal to 0. This is called the turning point of the parabolic graph. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4. Y is equal to 4. When x is equal to 3, y is equal to 9. Y is equal to 9. Okay? So simply we say that this is the graph. It's a parabolic. And here it's the graph. So this point is here, this point is here. So this is just a sketch. So this is y is equal to x squared. Okay? So it's a parabolic. So remember we taught you quadratic equation during your form 2. This is called the figure 5.2. The 5.2. So again, okay, again. So it is the case, okay? So it is the case, we say that for this case, domain, therefore, domain is all real number. Is, for this case, is all real numbers. But a range is all real number. Means to say that range is all real number such that s comma y, we say that when y is greater than or equal to 0. So the values of y are only defined on the positive y-axis. They are not defined on the negative y-axis, but I will teach you later about domain, or the concepts of the concepts of domain and range. Okay. So now I believe that you can go through different questions of graphing relation, and actually it is simple for you to go through. Okay? So if we cross-check onto exercise 1.2, okay, those are the only two questions which are in form of equation. So let me introduce to you and build this foundation to you about the graphing of inequality relation. Graphing of inequality relation. Graphing of inequality relation. So you say that the graph of a relation representing an inequality can also be sketched. Okay? The graph of a relation, okay, graph of relations, graph of inequality relation, not of relation, graph of inequality, the graph of inequality relation can be sketched by using either full or dotted lines and the shading the required region. So here we have mentioned two new things. The graph of inequality relation will be given relations which in form of inequality, whether less than uses the symbol of less than or greater than, or less than or equal or greater than or equal. So we can sketch this graph by using either full or dotted lines. And also that's not enough. You have to shade. To shade where? The required region. Wonderful. This is good news. You have to think differently and you have to get prepared that what's going on. Okay? So we say that if that's the case, before even we go and sketch and whatever, let me clarify these 2 points. Okay? We say that you have to note the following. If the relation has less than or greater than inequality sign, then we shade, then what? We use the dotted line. Use a dotted line. So dotted line, we use these lines. We don't use the full line. When you draw the line of the graph. So if the relations has what? Either less than or greater than sign or both, in case that there is a two inequalities, then we use what? The dotted line. The second point to note is if the relation has greater than or equal or less than or equal inequality sign. Inequality sign. Then we use full line. Use full line. When you say full line, we use this one. That's the full line, not dotted line. Okay? That's what you have to remember. I believe you're still enjoying the beauty of basic mathematics for the form 3. Wonderful. Then we go for the next concept. The next concept, we say that we have to define also the shading. Okay? Shading of 40. Shading system. We'll teach also the shading system in linear programming during Form 4, where we'll be teaching basic mathematics, because also we have a shading system. Shading system of graphs of inequality relation. That's how it has been called in the syllabus. Remember that this is the second subtopic of graphing relation. Shading system of graphs of what? Inequality relation. Inequality relation. Okay. So we say that regardless of use of either dotted or full line, dotted or full line, we always shade the required region. When you say required region, the required regions are according to what? Corresponding to what? Required region corresponding to given inequality linear equation. Inequality linear equation. Okay? So the 2 points to note. If we find that we have less than inequality sign or less than or equal, we always shade below the line. So 2 points to note on the shading system. Say that if the inequality sign is less than or equal, then we say that then we shade what? We shade below the line, whether full or what? Or dotted line. So this is the first point to note on shading system. So if the relation has a greater than or equal sign, equality sign, then we shade or equal sign, mostly in case of equal sign. However, that in equal sign we don't deal with. We shade what? I'm not sure. I think that here we don't have shade, we have only single D. But when we put in present continuous tense, like shading, then we have to add another thing. So we shade it. We shade above the line. What does this mean? For instance, if you have XY like this one, and then you have a line like this one, then we are going to shade. We draw lines which are perpendicular to this line below the line if the less than or equal inequality sign used. And here, what does it mean? For instance, that we have this line, and then here we have a dotted line. This is the XY plane. And then the symbol which used is greater than or equal. So we are going to shade above the line. That's the meaning. So I have prepared so many questions on this concept. So you have to stay tuned and you have to make sure that you don't miss session 60 of graphing of inequality relation when we'll be solving so many problems regarding on inequality relation. So ladies and gentlemen, right now, let me give you the only one example and then leave the homework for you. And then we'll meet in the next session when I will take you into the next step. Okay? So let us start with the simple example. This is example 15. Example 15. Refer secondary basic mathematics book 3. Okay. The question states that sketch the graph of the relation. Sketch the graph of the relation R. Okay, relation R. This is x comma y. Then y less than x. That's all. So the question will never tell you where should you shade, what lines should you use. That's why I told you the concept first, because I want you to understand. Remember that the heart of Tanzania online ordinary secondary school square bracket Olenjolai training is understanding, first of all, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Those 3 things that we are seeking for. So knowledge is information. We are giving you information. Understanding, we help you to comprehend the information we are giving you. And wisdom is applications of understood information, right? That's why we are challenging you to think how you can take these classroom instructions and solve a particular real-life problem. So we have this example 15 that I solved. Okay? So example 15, we say that you have to sketch the graph of the relation below. Okay? So you have to follow some steps. The first step. The first step, we say that if you check, so use the first step, we have to decide about the line that we are going to use. So check the inequality sign. So the inequality sign is less than. So we use what? We use dotted lines and shade below the line. The second step, transform the equation, the given equation, which is y less than x, into y is equal to x. That is, so we just forget the inequality sign first in order to simplify the line. So the second step, we say that let us sketch the table table of values. Okay, the table of values. So you have to decide yourself, as I told you. You can choose your domain. This the standard one is -3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to +3. So this is our table of values. Okay, table of values. So this is x, y. Okay. This is -3, -2, -1, 0, 1. This is 2. This is 3. So if you substitute into the equation, it is y is equal to x. So simply this is y is equal to x. When x is equal to -3, y is equal to -3. When x is equal to -2, y is equal to -2. When x is equal to -1, y is equal to 1. When x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2. When x is equal to 3, y is equal to 3. So possibly this we call it table 5.3. First one was table 5.1 and table 5.2. 1. So that's the second stage. So now we have the table of values. The next stage, we have reached the fourth stage. We have to sketch. Okay? What? So we go for the fourth stage. Fourth stage, sketch what? Sketch what? Sketch the graph. Sketch the graph. Okay? So to sketch the graph, x, y plane. This is the graph. Wonderful. Now that you have well prepared for this graph. Okay. So this is y-axis. Okay. This is x-axis. So y-axis. And this is x-axis. So here it is. Here it is. So this is 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. So you can have this. So this is negative. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So here it is -1, -2, -3. So when x is equal to -3, y is equal to -3. So you can have your brains. When x is equal to -2. So then -1 is equal to this. Then this one. And here it is 1. And here it is 2. And here it is 3. Oh. So you have to use dotted line. good. I want to do the full line. My change. Use a pencil in all your sketch. So this is what? Actually, this is y is equal to x. And this is 0. So now we check the inequality sign. It's less than, so we shape below there. Graph. Okay. So we sketch below there. Below there, because it's the less than. So this is the shape. We draw the perpendicular lines to this. Okay, so this is what? Figure 5 and 10. So that's how we sketch the relation. Wonderful. That's how we sketch the relation. So now let me leave the homework for you, so I can end this session 5. So this is example 16. Homework first of all. Homework 5. And this is example 6. 16. 15, 16. Make sure that you have to do this homework and submit in the comment section, please, so that I can review your work and you can enjoy the beauty of maths. So you have just this question, which is referable. Okay, so these questions also refer secondary BSc mathematics. Okay. Page 13. Draw the graph. Draw the graph of the relation. Draw the graph of relation, which is R is equal to x comma y, x plus y, less than or equal to 2. And A. So it's a kind of a concept, because we are real advancing in understanding, but you have to try. Inequality and y less than 2. But the question, draw the graph of the relation. Be given 2 equations, 2 inequalities, how to sketch them. Very simple for the senior students. Draw the graph of relation, just like the first one. Include the graph of relation, will be given 1 inequality. So here you have to draw the graph of equality, draw the graph of relation x comma y, such that x plus y is less than or equal to 2 and the y is less than 2. Well, this is the end of session 5, graphing the inequality, graphing inequality relation. I really thank God who have created me in his own image and likeness, and I thank God who have been with me in the preparations of this session, and I thank God who have given you an opportunity to join me and enjoy the beauty of basic mathematics for the rest of your life. And I thank God who have been who have given you and opened your mind to understand this piece of information. Again, I would like just to remind you before I end this session, we have also Tanzania online online library, where we are equipping our students with very important equipments. The first equipment is basic mathematics syllabus for ordinary secondary education from 1 through 4. So you can order this book in any 31 and we can ship it into any 31 regions of Tanzania, because Tanzania has 31 regions, including Unguja and Pemba. Because Pemba has 2 regions, Unguja has 3 regions, make 5 regions, and then 26 regions are in Tanzania mainland. So you can order this syllabus book. You'll use it during your Form 3 and Form 4. When you graduate, also you can order the copy of it. When you graduate, you leave it to your young brothers and sisters. Just go to the descriptions of the video, you'll see the link of this on how you can order this book, because you have to buy it and also you have to pay for the shipping cost. Again, this is the second weapons that we call secondary basic mathematics books. Again, we recommend this book we are going to use in this course. However, that we understand there are some other books of basic mathematics written by or published by Oxford. We have basic mathematics. We have different books, but we recommend this one, which has been prepared by Tanzania Institute of Education. That can use even the other books in your country. But again, because we are preparing all our Form 3 to tackle the next exam for the Form 4, we also recommend questions and answer book that called the Ordinary Level Basic Mathematics Review, which contain nectar questions and answers from 2003 through 2019. So this is the end of session 5. I thank God, really I thank God. And I invite you in session 6, when I will teach you in details. I will do the corrections of homework 5, and then I will teach you more examples on relation and more examples on graphing inequality relations, because that's very important. And remember also that according to when you go through different past papers, the topic of relations is not appearing in the next exam, but it's a good preparation for you to understand the next chapter, which is second chapter, which is called the function, which is often contributed questions of the 10 marks, 10 to 5 marks. It depends on the examination setup format. Okay, so but remember that you'll find or you'll be tested your understanding of relations in midterm exams of the March. You'll be tested your understanding of relations in your terminal exam. You'll be tested your understanding of basic of relations in annual exams, and even sometimes in next exams you can encounter a question from the basic mathematics. So I thank you very much. I invite you. This is Sir Olenjolai from Tanzania. Remember that Sir Olenjolai does not know everything about basic mathematics from 3. I just know small portions, but I'm ready to teach others what I know. So don't forget to subscribe, please, for you to get notifications of when we add this session 6 of graphing inequality relation. And also share this content with other students. Tell other students. If you're a guardian who is watching these programs, or a parent, share these contents with other parents and guardians. Share with the students, ordinary secondary students. Share with primary secondary students, pre-form 1, pre-form 2, adjusted form 1, form 2, form 3, form 4. Tell them, reciters, private students who are just doing the private studies, they are not school candidates. Private candidates, school candidates, all of this information are important, and you can access them at any time, and also you can access them anywhere in Tanzania and around the world. So tell your neighbor, it's a time for the light of basic mathematics, physics, and chemistry from 1, from 2, from 3, and from 4 in Tanzania. So it's a time for the lighting, and you have to get prepared to solve the real life problems by using the knowledge and the information we are giving you. Remember that we are supplementing what you have given with your teachers. Don't ignore it. You have to take into considerations, and you have to take advantage of these platforms by using any receiving device, smartphones, iPhones, iPad, computers, smart TV, on accessing this information once you are comfortable during the evening hours after your schooling time. And during the public days, holidays, and even during the vacation, you can take this advantage for you to have a good information, and also to be bold and real, to be strongly prepared in basic mathematics and science subject in order for you to achieve your vision that God has given you. And especially that you have to make sure that you solve at least a single real-life problems during your lifetime. Think differently, Sir Olenjolai from Tanzania. See you in the next session. May God bless you abundantly in basic mathematics from Siri, and see you in the next session.